I am Eris. I use they, them. I am an astronomer. I am an astrophysicist. I am many things. I'm a teacher. I'm an educator. I do a lot. I've been working as an educator for the last 3 years. I have my master's degree in astronomy and astrophysics. I have an undergraduate degree in physics with a minor in astronomy and psychology. I have 2 minors. So, not all of that's relevant. What is relevant is that I recently got fired. And not fired in the traditional sense. In fact, I have this wonderful note from a student that says, Dear Eris, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I had the best time serving as one of your TAs for the astronomy team this semester. I really enjoyed hearing you share your expertise and fascinating astronomy topics, as well as working with the students. I will continue to look to your passion for astrophysics as an inspiration when I study physics in college. Wishing you a safe and restful holiday season. And this is not the only card that I've been given. This is just one that I recently got that I have on my desk, because it's cards like this that make me want to keep being an educator. I lost this position not for lack of my skill, not for lack of positive reviews from the students, or even positive reviews and affirmations from those who were actually responsible for firing me. The reason I lost my job is because the astronomy program at the science center that I worked at got cut. Let me say that again. The astronomy program at the Space and Science Center that I worked at got cut. The reason it got cut is because they are, quote, taking the program in another direction. And what this means is that they are focusing on workforce skills, which just means that they are trying to find a way to market their program so that employers, after students finish the program, look at this and go, oh, you've taught them things that they can use here. Great. And that is what their metric is. I have a lot of reasons why this is a terrible metric, but the main one that I really want to talk about is that this is more than just a workforce skill development course. It was a course for extracurricular education. And my philosophy of teaching is specifically aimed at making sure students understand what work they're doing, why they're doing it, how it's connected to the world around them, and just learning how to learn. One of the main problems, one of the main complaints that I have seen quite frequently lately on the internet is whether someone goes to college or chooses not to, everyone in the employment arena is saying that they are just trying to go for workforce skills right now. All they're trying to do is give people workforce skills so that they can get a job. However, that is bad. And it's bad for the main reason that you can always learn workforce skills. You don't need a program to teach you workforce skills. Jobs teach you workforce skills. Working teaches you workforce skills. Being a human teaches you workforce skills. Working has been generally the same for hundreds of years. Obviously, we've had technological advancements, so the different skills that you need evolve and change, but knowing how to work and how to acquire skills is the same. It's always the same. No matter what kind of ledger we're putting information into, no matter what program we're using, no matter what new technology we're trying to use to assist, it's all the same. We're always trying to manage logistics, we're always trying to manage people, and we're always trying to make sure that the resources that we need, we have. So, this program shifted to a workforce skills only program. And my part of the program got completely cut. And this is a problem, not only because now I'm unemployed, but because now those students don't get to learn the things that I was teaching them. There's an entire section of astronomy and understanding the universe as a whole and how I teach that these kids no longer have access to. And that is why I am very frustrated. That is why I am extremely upset by all of this. My program was cut, and astronomy was deemed extraneous. But it's interesting because astronomy is so desired as a field of study. Programs get cut when they don't provide something of, quote, perceived value. The problem is, education is not meant to teach a single skill. Education is not meant to make someone marketable. Education is meant to create fully thoughtful and critically thinking individuals. When you cut a program to focus on what, quote, gets funding and workforce skills, unquote, you miss the point of education. I teach students how to be excited and be engaged with material. I teach them how to explore topics and ask important questions. I teach them how to engage with curiosity and make connections where they may otherwise not be any. I teach students how to understand the universe around them and how all of it is intricately connected. If we don't teach students these things, they will not learn it. And I will bring this back to the other point that I alluded to earlier. I've seen a lot of people on the internet and in real life lately complain that short form content, AI, all of these things are frying their brains. They feel like they're getting dumber. They feel like they aren't learning anything. They feel like people that are actively getting an education are learning more than them. The problem with this sentiment is that it comes from the fact that all of our education system has shifted to focus on workforce skills and nothing else. We are not teaching younger generations how to think critically because the early foundations of education are not being funded. I am someone that for about half a year was a long-term substitute teacher at a middle school. And at this middle school, I was teaching science, and I was teaching the scientific method. And it was really hard to teach these kids the scientific method because we did not have the resources for it. There was not resources for me to actually give them experiments, to give them hands-on experience with different things, the quote-unquote workforce skills that all of these labs and extra programs try so hard to show that they have. All of those things are getting completely swept out of education. And because they are not being included in education, we are not giving students the experiential learning that they need to actually retain information. Now, this all sounds like crazy whatever words. I literally, for my master's degree, had multiple semesters and main parts of my whole research have been studying how physics and astronomy and science education as a whole works most efficiently at all levels. I teach students to make connections where there may not otherwise be any. I make sure that students are in an environment that they feel comfortable learning in, that they feel safe and confident enough to ask questions and explore things that they are curious about, and most importantly, that they understand how to be a person from what they are learning. Because if they aren't learning how to be a person from a course, if they are just learning a thing and rote memorization, repeating things back to you, then we're not making people. We aren't teaching people. We aren't teaching young humans what it means to think about how it is to be an adult. And I think we need doctors. You think we need doctors? I think we need doctors. Me, I think we need doctors.